Hello everyone, and welcome back to Pan-African channel. Today we take a closer look at one of East Africa's most impressive transformation stories. Somalia is rising, modernizing, and redefining its economic future in an extraordinary space. And perhaps most impressively, the project was completed in just 26 months, 4 months ahead of schedule, a timeline almost unheard of in the region. Somalia, a nation long associated with civil conflict, piracy headlines, and years of humanitarian struggle, has just stunned the entire world. And this time, it's not with bad news. It's with one of the most ambitious infrastructure projects in modern African history. An $800 million mega airport, constructed at breakneck speed, designed with futuristic engineering, and positioned to become the new aviation gateway of the Horn of Africa. The opening ceremony wasn't just symbolic. It sent a geopolitical shockwave from Washington to Dubai, from Beijing to Ankara. And yes, even former U.S. President Donald Trump reportedly did not see this coming, because Somalia, once dismissed as too unstable for mega projects, has delivered an airport that rivals new terminals in Qatar, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. This is Hobyo International Airport. And today we dive deep into how Somalia pulled off one of the most surprising economic achievements on the continent. But before we get into the engineering, the financing, and the political consequences, we need to understand the why behind this mega project. Section 1. Why this airport matters. For decades, Somalia was trapped in a cycle of insecurity. Airports were outdated. International airlines avoided its airspace. The country was practically cut off from global commerce. Yet Somalia sits on one of the most strategic coastlines in the world. The Indian Ocean shipping artery, gateways to Middle Eastern markets, access routes to Asia, proximity to Ethiopia's 120 million consumers, and controlling positions along the Gulf of Aden near the Red Sea chokehold. This is the same maritime region that fuels Dubai's economy, that powers Qatar's logistics dominance, and that China has targeted in its trillion-dollar Belt and Road Initiative. Except Somalia was never able to capitalize because it lacked one thing: a world-class international airport capable of connecting Somalia to the global economy. That changed when Somalia passed a historic reform package in 2021. New aviation laws, investor protection frameworks, anti-corruption mechanisms, diaspora investment incentives, and a modernized airspace management protocol. For the first time in decades, Somalia became officially open for global investment. This legal transformation didn't make headlines in the West, but it triggered something massive in the Middle East. Qatar, Turkey, and UAE investors immediately began scouting for opportunities. Somali diaspora billionaires, from Minnesota to London to Dubai, saw the chance to rebuild their homeland. And out of these reforms emerged one of the boldest proposals in modern Somali history: a completely new airport in a completely new economic hub, built not for the Somalia of the past, but for the Somalia of the future. Section 2. The location that changes everything. Why Hobyo? Hobyo is not Mogadishu. It is not Hargeisa. It is not Kismayo. Hobyo is something different. A deep-water coastal city with nearly unmatched geographical advantages. Why Hobyo is strategically priceless. Deep natural harbor suitable for mega container ships. Direct 2 to 3-day shipping access to Gulf states. Close to Ethiopia, which desperately needs port access. Located on the new East Africa-Middle East aviation corridor. Far from Mogadishu's congestion and security tension. Perfect for a new logistics and industrial capital. This is the same blueprint used by Dubai, which used Jebel Ali to rise from desert to global trade empire. Qatar, which built Hamad International Airport to break aviation dependence. Saudi Arabia, which created NEOM near the Red Sea. Djibouti, which leveraged its coastline to become an African port powerhouse. Somalia is now following the same playbook, and Hobyo is the perfect launch pad. Section 3. What exactly was built? The Hobyo Airport isn't a nice upgrade. It's a full-scale aviation and logistics revolution. Runway, for kilometers long. Heavy-duty reinforced concrete, capable of handling Boeing 777X, Airbus A380, and large military aircraft. One of the longest runways in East Africa. Terminal design, inspired by Doha's Hobyo International Airport. Curved, futuristic roof architecture, solar-integrated glass walls, automated baggage systems, AI-driven security screening, 8+ boarding gates, climate-controlled passenger lounges, VIP and diplomatic suites for Gulf and African leaders. Cargo Mega Hub. This is where the real magic happens. The cargo terminal is designed to turn Somalia into a trade gateway. Temperature-controlled storage for livestock and fish. Pharmaceutical and medical logistics, warehousing, high-volume freight towers, automated loading cranes, 24/7 cargo-ready operations, built to handle hundreds of thousands of tons of goods per year. Security and technology. This airport is built with next-gen tech, full CCTV AI surveillance, biometric immigration gates, anti-drone air defense perimeter, Turkish-designed secure underground command center, Qatari-built digital air traffic system, high-speed fiber network. This is not an African regional airport. This is a global logistics nerve center. Section 4. How Somalia built this in just 26 months. The Hobyo Airport was delivered 4 months ahead of schedule. Let that sink in a region where projects often take 12 years instead of 12 months. Somalia pulled off one of the fastest mega infrastructure deliveries on the continent. How? The secret is a consortium model. The airport was financed and built by a unified coalition. 1. Qatar Investment Authority, 40%. Brought financing, engineering, and master planning expertise. 2. Somali Diaspora Development Fund, 25%. Somalis abroad have more than $2 billion in annual remittances. For the first time, these remittances were channeled into large-scale national infrastructure. 3. Turkey's Al Bayrak and Limak Construction, 20%. Experts behind. Istanbul Airport, Turkish high-speed rail, Middle East megaprojects. 4. Federal government of Somalia, 15%. Land rights, regulatory framework, and national integration. Most importantly, no IMF debt, no World Bank debt, no Western loan strings attached. This alone is why Washington and Brussels were caught off guard. Section 5. The economic impact. The Hobyo Airport is more than a building. It is a national economic transformation engine. 1. Massive job creation. Over 30,000 jobs. Construction workers, aviation staff, cargo operators, logistics managers, hospitality and retail workers, port and airport security personnel, taxi, trucking, and tourism networks. This airport will be one of Somalia's biggest employment hubs. 2. New aviation routes. Hobyo opens direct aviation corridors with Doha, Dubai, Istanbul, Addis Ababa, Nairobi, Jeddah, Mumbai, Guangzhou. Somalia becomes a regional connector, not an isolated endpoint. 3. Explosive trade growth. Somalia's key export industries gain instant global access. Livestock, seafood, agriculture, textiles, logistics services, light manufacturing, future oil and gas exports. The Hobyo cargo zone alone is projected to generate $1.2 billion per year within the next decade. 4. Competing with Djibouti. For the first time in decades, Ethiopia has a real port alternative. Ethiopia currently pays billions of dollars in port fees to Djibouti. Hobyo could divert 30 to 40% of Ethiopia's import-export traffic. This changes the balance of power in the Horn of Africa. Section 6. The geopolitics. Why Trump and the U.S. didn't expect this. Washington has always considered Somalia a security-dependent nation, not an economically rising one. Why this caught the U.S. off guard. 1. The airport strengthens alliances with Qatar and Turkey. Both nations have had tense relations with Trump-era U.S. foreign policy. 2. It creates independence from Western financial institutions. Somalia built its biggest project without U.S. loans or Western funding. 3. It reduces reliance on U.S. airspace management contracts. Somalia regained control of its own airspace recently, a major shift. 4. It integrates Somalia into Middle East logistics networks. This increases Gulf influence while reducing U.S. leverage. In short, Somalia just gained the power to negotiate, not beg. This was not part of Washington's expectation, and it represents the beginning of a new geopolitical era in the Horn. Section 7. What this means for Africa. Somalia's success is forcing a new conversation across the continent. Countries like Kenya, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Mozambique, Senegal, Tanzania, Ghana are now studying the Hobyo model, diaspora funding, Gulf partnerships, non-Western financing, fast-track construction, investor-friendly legal reforms, high-tech infrastructure design. Somalia has raised the bar. African nations now know something important. They do not need the IMF or World Bank to build mega projects. They can do it their own way. In just 26 months, Somalia has reintroduced itself to the world, not as a place of crisis, but as a nation of ambition, innovation, and transformation. The Hobyo International Airport is more than steel, glass, and concrete. It is a symbol, a message, a declaration that Somalia will no longer be judged by its past, but by the future it is now building. And if this is a beginning, the world better pay attention, because Somalia is rising. And this time, no one could ignore it. Thank you. And with that, we come to the end of this incredible episode, the $800 million Somali airport that's shaking the world. If you found this video informative, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, because I'm committed to bringing you more in-depth stories about Africa's people, progress, and culture. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed. Thank you,